Okay guys, now we're going to graph 1 plus sine theta. And what I'm going to do first is do a couple things. One is a chart to help you, which you don't need all the time. And two, it's going to be our pre-calc graphing of one plus sine x. Okay. So again, actually my fault. We should have theta and r that way. Okay. So going back to pre-calc, 0, right? So if you're plugging in the angle to be 0, you're going to wind up getting 1. We get 1. We plug in pi over 4. Okay, we're going to get 1 plus root 2 over 2. If we plug in pi over 2, we'll get 2. Let's say we do 3 pi over 4. We'll get 1 plus root 2 over 2. And if we do pi, we'll get 1. Five pi over 4, we wind up with one minus root 2 over 2. That'll be about there. And then if we plug in 3 pi over 2, we would get 0. And then it just starts to repeat that, right? So it's going to come back up. Well, it really started to go below it, and then here again with our values of 7 pi over 4 and 2 pi. So 7 pi over 4, 1 minus root 2 over 2, and 2 pi would give us 1. Okay, so you have a table, and you have what we did in pre-calc. In pre-calc, our curve, remember it always, right, came from there, it didn't stop, and then it just continues. Right, and we know it just keeps on going, and it repeats that over and over again. But now in polar, so what I'm going to do is use both the table all right, now remember this is 0 radian, this is pi over 2. This is pi, and this is 3 pi over 2. So let's start. So with 0 radian, right, so we'll go from here, 0, you're going to get 1. So we have 1. Now at pi over 4, what I would do, draw your dotted line. Okay, so that's pi over 4. You're going to plot your point on that dotted line. We got 1 plus root 2 over 2, so in between 1 and 2. But remember, these are like, you know, polar, so you have the circular motion there. So you don't want to quite go all the way out, you want to go in between here. Okay, we get to pi over 2, it's up to 2, so right now our graph looks like that. Okay, and then all right, so let's finish off the graph. Okay, so now let's go to 5 pi over 4, right? So we're now at 5 pi over 4. And you get 1 minus root 2 over 2, so, oops, 3 pi over 4, we get 1 plus root 2 over 2. My bad, so let's do, we are actually, so we did those, right? You can see those first 3 points. Now we're at 3 pi over 4, and our value is 1 plus, so that's a little in between, so 1 plus, right, we're right there. And then we're back down at pi to 1. So you can see then it continues like that. So that's the shape we have so far. And now at 5 pi over 4, it's going to be less than 1, right? At 5 pi over 4, we have 1 minus root 2 over 2. So my point is going to wind up here. And then at 3 pi over 2, it's 0. And then again at 7 pi over 4, it's that 1 minus. So again, it's right in between 0 and 1. And you have this upside down heart shape.